Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Orange Report with Elise Jesse.
From 31 yards, McPherson. And Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl. They did it. They beat Mahomes at home. Wow, Joe Burrow. No way.
The sickest Cincinnati Bengals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome back after a much-needed offseason from the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals season. Yes, I took an offseason as well. Happy to be back, and we have renamed this podcast The Orange Report. A little bit easier for you guys to find on YouTube, hopefully. Wow. If you were watching like I was last night, half the time you were just sitting there watching Joe Burrow scramble, and you're just like, please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. Just like Ted Karras said last week when Shamar Stewart, I guess, lost his balance and fell into Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow didn't make a huge deal of it, reportedly. But Ted Karras noted what we all know, but he was just echoing that and reminding everyone that Joe Burrow is the one who brings the dreams, and the dreams can end with Joe Burrow. If he gets hurt, it's over. If he gets hurt, it's over. So on one hand, very happy to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, like the starters taking snaps and getting reps in the preseason, because when you talk about their slow starts, and that's talked about a lot with this team, obviously, we've all unfortunately had to endure these slow starts over the years. What were they? They were 0-2, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, if my memory serves me right, the last 3 years. They don't want to start slow again. This is the change they're making. I'm not going to criticize that. I'm down for the change, because when you continue to do the same thing over and over again, you expect different results. You guys all know the ending to that saying. So I'm cool seeing the new approach to the preseason for Joe Burrow. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys. You know how I am. I wrote down some notes, and I was trying to be positive, because I don't want to be the negative voice for this team. Okay. Especially when the actual season hasn't even started yet. I don't want to pour on the negativity. So I started with my good. This is my good section. Bad continued. So where do we start? Are you the kind of person who likes to hear the bad news first and end on a good note? Or do you like to hear the good and then get a reality check? Whichever one you like. I don't know which direction I'm going to go. So I guess the first thing that pops into my head is Joe Burrow scrambling. And my problem isn't the fact that he was trying to figure things out. I mean, if you look who was on the field offensively, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were not out there, so he's not with his top two targets. But at the same time, he was sacked on a play that started out 3rd and 12. It's after 17 yards. The next sack that Joe Burrow took was on a 2nd and 20. You're already starting behind the 8 ball. And if we're seeing that in a real game that actually matters, I probably won't have as big of an issue with it. My problem was that an injury could happen. The biggest thing to me, I don't give a rip about the everyday little BS, the drama that happens with this team in the offseason or the preseason. I don't have the capacity to care about that team's drama, and there is a lot of it with that team, unfortunately. What I do care about is that this team, its main starters, its superstars, get out of the preseason healthy. They get out of training camp healthy, and they have availability for the coaching staff when the games actually matter. So happy that Joe Burrow was able to work through that. Kind of happy that he now has film to look at and kind of evaluate, what maybe he did wrong there from my vantage point. I think that he needs to protect himself better still. The Bengals giving us claims that they have solidified the offensive line for Joe Burrow. The veracity of those claims is not there. It's just not. From what we saw last night. Now, They are reportedly bringing in Dalton Reisner today, a veteran guard. He might solidify the right side of the line. We will see how that all shakes out. As of right now, recording this, he is not officially signed with the team yet. But good Lord. Joe Burrow, another season of him running for his life. The change I did know and I did like was that Joe Burrow did get a call go his way. Finally, we didn't see jack last year of him getting any kind of calls. He got a horse collar call last night. So maybe that will certainly be a welcome change in 2025, because it seems like he's going to need some of those calls, because it doesn't seem like he is going to be as protected as we were led to believe in the offseason. That's my one criticism of Joe Burrow, is that he needs to protect himself better, get rid of the ball a little bit sooner. I know he's the guy that loves to extend the play, and that's one of his strengths, honestly. But take note that he does have his top two wide receivers on the field, typically when he is trying to extend those plays. I'm very happy and relieved that they got out of that game without an injury to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, the mains. The other bad I have of this, I guess we're going to go in the direction of bad to start this this brand new podcast season out, is the defense. Man, y'all remember 2024? That was brutal. What was last night? It was also brutal. When you are watching 9 of the 11 defensive starters for a whole quarter and they allow 14 points on 7 plays. Oh my goodness. I even tweeted this last night. I said, I don't know if I can stomach watching that again. And it's not talent. But there's a lot of people saying, well, you spent so much money on offense that now the defense is so young. Stop blaming age when it's really lack of effort. Poor angles, terrible gaps. I bet Lou Anarumo was probably watching that first quarter and laughing because he got blamed. He took the rap for all of that. And we saw much of the same last night. Not a fan. Jordan Battle, my goodness. I think that Jordan Battle is a great talent. I think he is a fantastic human being, but dang, he was more polite than a ballerina as Jaden Daniels was marching in for a touchdown. He's just like, go ahead. I know it's the preseason. I'm sure, very sure that Jordan Battle probably didn't want to sustain an injury himself in the preseason and probably didn't want to be the player that forced Washington's most important player on offense into an injury before the season actually starts. So I get that. But man, I want to see more aggression. I don't want to see ballerina politeness. I want to see nasty on defense. Haven't seen it yet. Still waiting. I hope I see it soon. And now I will say this too. Obviously in the preseason, Al Golden, he's smart. He's not going to give the league little nuggets or ways to beat this defense. So they're only going to have a handful of calls to pull from. But my Lord, that was not interesting football last night. How many points is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins? How many points are they going to have to score? And Chase Brown, for that matter. Are they going to have to score to win games in 2025? I am really crossing my fingers and hoping that they figure this out. They've got less than 3 weeks before the first regular game begins. Figure it out. We're going to talk about a topic that has been spoken about a lot in the offseason. It is now a concern of mine. I thought that the national media was really overhyping this and just kind of throwing this into the rundown to have something to speak about and waste time with. But now I'm actually concerned. Okay. And we are going to get to that right in a second. First, we need to talk about DraftKings for a second, because if you've noticed, they are a new sponsor for this podcast. The rivalries, the marching bands, the upsets. Saturdays just got way more fun. College football is back. Think you know the game? Put your college football knowledge to the test with DraftKings Sportsbook and turn your picks into big payouts, from live betting during the game to rivalry week odds, boosts, and so much more. DraftKings Sportsbook has everything you need to stay in the action from kickoff to the final whistle. Whether you're betting on your go-to team or making moves mid-game as momentum shifts, Saturdays are yours to own with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That is 6sports for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crowd is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, so back to the concern. The national media talked a lot about Joe Burrow's talent being wasted in Cincinnati. And I wasn't on board with that. I really wasn't. I was just kind of like, oh, they don't have anything else to talk about regarding this team, maybe. But at this very moment, the next day after preseason game number 2, I am starting to wonder, based off of what I saw from one quarter of Cincinnati's defense, if they are wasting Joe Burrow's talent. I think you would agree with me. Let me know in the comments, actually. I guess we can debate this. I don't think it's debatable, but if you think it is, let me know. They wasted Joe Burrow's talent last year. That whole season, he had an MVP caliber season, and it was a wash, along with Jamar Chase. His talent was wasted last year, too. It's nauseating to even consider the fact that we could see a repeat of wastefulness of talent in Cincinnati. Hope we don't. I hope they get it right. I hope Al Golden can get these guys. It's just the effort. It's the effort for me. My goodness. It's the angles for me. Come on. Oh, can't watch that again. I can't watch that again. I'm like debating whether or not I want to watch this football team anymore. I will continue to do so for the benefit of our conversation that we will continue for the next few months. Okay, let's get to the good. What I wrote down is Chase Brown's effort on that touchdown. Am I shocked that he made a big effort? Absolutely not. I am not. He's a baller. I have been very impressed with Chase Brown since he came into the league. And even as he was Joe Mixon's backup, I was impressed with him and the effort, keyword effort, that he brings to the football field. Mitchell Tinsley, man, I like the way he plays. I like his toe tap ability. I like the way he answers questions after games. I like how level-headed he seems. He seems like a quality addition to this roster. He certainly made a push for a roster spot last night. I would think, now I don't make these decisions, obviously, I would think that he would be a part of the Cincinnati Bengals in 2025 as a third option for Joe Burrow. Give it to him. I think that should be a roster lock, but that's just my opinion. What I also liked was Shaka Hayward's effort on defense. He is kind of like the outlier along with Tyson Anderson as well. And the newbie linebacker out of Clemson, Barrett Carter, with the pick. Carter and Anderson both had picks. I like seeing that. I hope that Tyson Anderson stays healthy because not only is he really fun to watch on the football field, but he's also a fantastic person. So I'm hoping that he finds success in 2025 and is able to stay on the football field through the remainder of the season. The last good chunk I thought, or seeing last night, especially reports before the game started, was Trey Hendrickson flying to Washington with the team. So all those trade rumors started popping off, and then you hear that Trey Hendrickson is with the team in Washington. You see him talking to Duke Tobin. You see him hanging out with Joe Burrow. It's not really surprising that he's hanging out with Joe Burrow majority of the time because those two are close. But I thought that was a good sign. especially with the way that those trade rumors like really took off in the days before they took off for Washington. It's a good sign. However, they can't get a deal done because of guaranteed money. Got $30 million in cash. Figure it out. Make it happen. I know Joe Burrow said that usually these conversations start to ramp up as they get closer to the season, but my goodness, he's gonna need some reps in practice. You can't just assume that Trey Hendrickson, while I am sure that he is doing his own outside work because he's that kind of dude, the majority of them are. Yeah, I still think that he needs those practice reps. I think that would go far for him as far as him himself individually starting fast in 2025. You're going to need Trey Hendrickson in Cleveland. Week 1, September 7th. That's less than 3 weeks away. We'll have another episode later on this week. Those are my thoughts post game. The main takeaway for me is that I am concerned about this defense. That one quarter, not fun. Come on, dude. I'm so over it. I hope we see something better in the next preseason game, though I don't totally expect Joe Burrow to play against the Colts. I don't expect that at all. Whatever starters do play, especially on defense, I want to see maximum effort. So fingers crossed that happens. I'll see you in a few days.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, The Orange Report with Elise Jesse on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.